Well, this one gets at the third question you were asking me, which is the so what. As a trader, how do I apply systems and systems thinking uh,
Right.
into into a meta system or a larger system? So this is just one way that that might manifest, and I like to think of this as my one-page trading strategy, which is my top level blueprint for how I approach the world. I like to think of the difference between strategy and tactics as well. Tactics is what you do when you know what to do. Like if you know what you should do, you should just do it, and that's tactics. But if you don't know what to do, then you need strategy, which is a broad approach that considers the wide view and the long term, and then allows you to uh, slowly narrow your focus and do things. So, what I've arrayed here is the top level metaphor, which is a form of systems thinking. I look at trading in the same way that a bowl maker makes bowls, is that I want to concentrate on the bowl that I make. I want to master each style of the bowl. I want to do it every day. I want to slowly improve my quality and my understanding through repetition and learning and craftsmanship, and then expand into other kinds of bowls, larger bowls, smaller bowls, decorative. So when you map that idea of craftsmanship and standard work to trading, this is one way that you might do it. We think of three different time frames. We think of day trading, which is short term intraday. I think of swing trading as holding positions for 2 to 10 days, short term price anomalies that give us a momentary imbalance between buyers and sellers that produces big adjustments in price and then long steady state. So during that moment of readjustment, usually after a news event, there's a chance to swing up or down to a new price level. So swing trading is designed to take advantage of that 2 to 10 day. And then position trading is, I think of as 2 weeks and longer out to maybe I'm holding it for 1 year or 3 years or 5 years. And in each one of these three different time dimensions, the market behaves in different ways. The kinds of systems that I need to have to exploit the opportunities are different. Now, maybe some of the chart patterns look the same, but the time frame is usually different. The rules are different. Like in day trading, I'm looking at statistically based patterns, pure statistics and math, because it happens so fast. I need the power and speed of math to give me the edge. At the very other end, position trading, what I need is long term momentum and inertia. So, like bodies in motion tend to stay in motion. So, leaders are going to continue to lead month after month until they don't. So, I need a system that allows me to find those leaders with a wide enough stop that I can just stay with it while it's grinding ahead. In the middle, that swing trade is I'm looking for patterns and strategies that show me where there are critical states and price anomalies that are going to be vigorously adjusted. And then I can take advantage of the scenario based trading. So each one of those three time frames is its own system. And that's fine. But it turns out that each one of those time frames has information that's useful to the other time frames. Like if I have a position trading target that is leading the way faster than the market, sometimes there are going to be swing trade patterns in that position trade. And so I can just use that as my research tool to find a good time to trade something that I'm already familiar with. And in fact, that may also lead me to some intraday trades where that thing is moving up faster than the market and the market's moving up, and this thing is moving up as part of a swing trade, and it's a market leader long term. That's the lowest risk intraday trade that you can find because you got all of those other time frames are working in mutual support. So it turns out that if I drop down a level and I do this core and turbo trading, that is a system that allows me to leverage the intersection between these different time frames. And I can use information and ideas from one to be effective in the other. It allows me to hedge, it allows me to double up. And then what I have is a meta system in which I am standing back and looking at all three of those time frames and the hybrid trading and figuring out how to take my overall portfolio and then asset allocate. How much do I put on the position? How much do I allocate for day trading? What's the size of each individual trade? What's the correlation between positions so that I can assess my overall risk as it is expressed through each of these subordinate timeframes? So systems have systems, and we would call that a meta system. And in that meta system, not only am I performing the trading function, but I'm also learning to manage my own psychology, because that's one of the constant features in all of those different systems is me, the trader. So I need a system that allows me to develop new skills, to manage my emotions, to use peer review to give me outside confirmation so that I don't get caught up in my own bias. I need a board of directors to help me run the business as a business, which is a system. So I can start using all of these different kinds of systems together in a larger meta system. And that's why there's such a strong payoff in becoming a systems thinker, is that now when I learn to be a systems thinker, it makes me a better day trader, a better swing trader, a better position trader, a better businessman, better psychology. So that allows us to trade systems where we're maybe only looking at monthly charts, and some with weekly charts, some with daily, and even down to 1 minute and 3 minute charts. I can now look at this entire process as a meta system through one unified lens and gain some synergy. So that's my short answer, if I can say it that way, to how does systems thinking really manifest inside the world of a trader. It's really psychology, systems development and management, understanding market cycles, running a business together. It's really an integrated effort at using systems thinking in that way. You were laughing about a systems thinker thinking about teaching systems. Well, our applied system development process, for example, takes each of the components of plan, prepare, execute, and assess, breaks that down into modules, and then teaches about the elements of the modules, and then helps us reassemble how we plan, how we prepare, how we execute, how we assess the overall trade in order to develop a systematic process. In many cases, it's built on this kind of a system map of what makes the market move price. Why does price move around? Well, sometimes the different US sectors are competing and there's winners and losers, and that's influencing price. Sometimes it's the region of the world. Sometimes it's a broad global sector. Sometimes it's a style like, hey, growth is really winning and value is really losing. Sometimes it's asset classes like uh, interest income is winning and real estate is losing, or technology is winning, stocks are losing, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's market cap. Sometimes the small caps are doing great and the large caps are doing poorly, and sometimes it's reversed. Sometimes it's the influence of currency, that there could have been a change in policy in some nation and they're devaluing their currency. And now all of the companies that are denominated in that currency are experiencing dramatic price changes as the market responds to changes. Well, when you have a systems view of the world, you start looking at each one of these components as a partial explanation for what is moving price around and how can I use that to exploit. So I might consider each of these subsets of each of those variables above, and then I might build out a bunch of different documented mechanical systems that can be back tested, forward tested, and robotically traded to get me to my 80% solution. And I could have long-term swing trades and intraday. I could figure out which ones perform well in bullish markets, sideways markets, or bear markets, or volatile markets, or whatever. And then I might have a strategy that says, let me define the market condition and then pick the systems that should work well in that particular season. And then what I've done is I've used systematic thinking to give myself this stackable set of edges that gives me the best chance to win in the market. So as I'm putting together all of those things, I might then take a look at my learning journey as a way of developing craft knowledge in all of these dimensions. How I learn to plan, to prepare, to be ready to trade, to execute the trades, to assess the trades. And then each of these are the individual components of all those. How do I learn to be a better trader? Well, I got to learn to be a better student. And that means that there's ways I can accelerate my learning if I understand the art and science of learning. So this systems thinking really never stops. How can I set up my management team to take advantage of different skill sets in order to run my business and to run my strategies? So this really represents an ecosystem approach to learning the methods and processes of trading in all the different time dimensions that we speak about. And so I guess in conclusion, what I would say is, for folks that are interested in more on systems thinking for traders, these are the foundational thinkers that have helped me over the last 35 years develop this sort of approach. Senge and Meadows. I'm an advanced facilitator for the Waters Foundation for Systems Thinking. Barry Richmond and Thomas Athey are foundational guys. This CATWO, a soft systems methodology by Peter Senge, is a way to really appreciate systems in human life. Like when you're working with a machine or a car, it has certain features based on metal. When you're working with people, the soft systems methodology allows you to be a little more balanced and nuanced and gentle and careful when you're learning how to work inside human systems that incorporate psychology. Weinberg's work helps us understand cybernetics and learning processes and learning algorithms. And I think that even though that's 50 years old, that's giving us really important insights about how AI is going to impact the world of trading, because that's a systematic approach to thinking that is going to be a large part of our future. So that's everything I really wanted to say about, the application of systems thinking to trading, and just invite folks to contact us for more. We've got systems thinking workshops. We've incorporated systems thinking into our trading workshops, and we're happy to talk about questions or develop solutions for folks that have specific areas of concern. So let me toss it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Ken. It's really inspiring to hear you talk about these concepts and how they apply to trading. And I know from my own experience, having studied with you now for close to 15 years, I think we're going on, just what a difference it's made in my results, and still how much more there is to learn, how much more there is to develop in the craft of trading and in applying systems thinking to it, which is for me fascinating and exciting, because it seems like no matter how good my craft gets, there's always room for improvement. There's always more to learn. So thank you again for sharing your incredible body of knowledge today.
Happy to help. My final thought on this is that I think that systems thinking is like a business plan and insurance. That when everything is going well and there's no surprises, you could convince yourself you don't really need that because things are going. When you need them is when there's uncertainty or a surprise, and then your reaction to new events, surprise events, is as good as your existing business plan, as good as your insurance, and as good as your onboard systems thinking to be able to respond quickly in a useful way. So the business plans, insurance, and systems thinking are things that you need to develop before you need them. And that would be my best advice, is prepare like your life depends on it when it comes to those three areas. Have a good business plan, have a good life plan, have good insurance to take care of the family, and then be a systems thinker, and you'll always be looking to improve your position. It just goes, it's just part of the territory. It goes without saying. So take good care. Love to the family. Take good care of yourself, and we'll see you on down the road.
Thanks, Ken. Cheers.